everyone, Backyard Farmer Pat here. Today I'm here to check on the earlier I did of the June plum of my sister's June plum tree. I did this earlier maybe 2 months ago. My sister has this absolutely lovely June plum tree. She has several, her entire tree is covered in June plums. And this is the traditional Jamaican June plum tree. It's very, very large, and I wanted to make sure that I have one of these June plum trees at my new backyard paradise in Palm Bay, Florida. So I did it earlier a couple months ago, and I reported back a few weeks ago showing that it actually started blossoming. And looking at it now, the tree is dying back. The last time I was here a few weeks back, I removed the plastic layer, so it kind of started drying out. And you can see it's kind of struggling now. All these branches are kind of struggling, but it's still green. My blossoms that started developing fell off, but I see one June plum. If you come a little closer so you can see that it actually has a June plum on it. So what I'm gonna do is I really and truly, I think I'm gonna remove the June plum. I'm gonna remove the June plum because it's gonna bear a whole lot more. I wanna make sure that this develops roots, that this focuses on developing roots. So I'm gonna cut back some of these. But what I'm gonna do right now is check on the air layer. I can tell you one mistake I made. All right, I'm gonna remove this plastic. One mistake I made when I first did the air layer is that I wrapped up the plastic way too tight. So when I checked on it after like 6 or 7 weeks, it was still soaking wet. So what happened is the roots that started developing after 3 or 4 weeks, they actually started rotting. So I came a couple weeks ago, I removed the plastic. I made sure it was moist, but I removed the plastic. And let's look. So it has very little roots. Let's see what I can see here. I can see one root here. I see some little tiny roots here, but it looks like it's still early. But what I'm gonna do is separate it. You're gonna transplant it. Either if the roots were fully developed, I would transplant it directly into the ground. But because the roots are just now reforming, I'm gonna transplant this in a pot first. I'm gonna have several weeks out from planting this into the ground.
Is it flowing now? Okay.
We're soaking. Perfect. So make sure the soil is soaking wet, and make sure you put it in a pot that has a lots of holes so it won't rot, because we don't want any root rot. I'm making a little hole in the middle. Then I'm gonna go ahead and...
Hold on. Let me cut it for you.
You sure I can cut it? Let's see.
Oh, the other way. The other way.
The other way? Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, go. Let it open fully, and then you ratchet it down. Yeah.
Okay. Fancy.
Let it open fully.
All right. So you can see where we cut it before. It has already sprouted new leaves. It already started blossoming. It has multiple blossoms on that side. On this side, I'm gonna get another clipper and I'm gonna remove half of these branches. I'm gonna leave a few leaves on top for photosynthesis. So I'm gonna remove most of these leaves. But look at this. This is gonna be a beautiful June plum tree. Look at these beautiful branches. It's gonna have a beautiful branch here with branches and June plums. It's gonna have a nice branch here. It's a perfect Y shape, perfect for a fruit tree. And in no time, this is gonna be in the ground in Palm Bay. I'm gonna cut some more off, but for now, I'm gonna plant this in. And you can see, here's one root here. You can see another root coming here. Some little very fine roots here. Plus you can see, this is how thick the branch was all along. But here where the roots are forming, you see how thick that is. And I cut it below where the roots are gonna form. So now to plant this, I made my hole because the few little roots that are there, I don't want to damage those roots. So I'm making my hole wide enough so the roots aren't damaged. And I'm putting this up just to soil level. Just to the level where this is gonna form roots. I don't want to cover up the stem. So this is gonna form roots below it. What I'll do is, since it doesn't have many roots yet, I'm gonna get another stick and stake it. So I don't want to push this all the way down because I don't want to cover the actual trunk. So I'm gonna get another stick, stake it, tie this to the stick, and God willing, in a few weeks or a couple months, it will form its own roots. Then I'll be able to remove the stick and plant this in the ground in Palm Bay. And you can follow my June plum saga. I will show you guys as I plant this in Palm Bay. I'm gonna put a little bit more water, making sure it's well moistened. Okay, I need to get another stick to brace this up. It's gonna fall over. All right, let me get another stick. One sec. All right, so I got my clipper. I'm gonna do some cleanup. So this branch here is basically dead. It's dry. Always get rid of dead, dry things. I'm gonna trim off the majority of these branches. They will come back. Right now, I just wanna focus on developing roots. So all of these branches, all these leaves, I'm gonna get rid of. Just leave a few on here. Cleaned up right here. And then my sister didn't have any sticks around the yard, but my mom does have cassava, so I'm going to use the cassava stick as a support right now. So I'm going to cut the cassava stick here, and believe it or not, this is also going to become food. This is a piece of cassava stick. Cassava, you can literally just stick it in the ground, and everywhere will actually it will actually develop a cassava. So I'm going to use this to brace it. This can go all the way down. There are no roots to damage here. And what I'm gonna do is, I don't have any cord, but since this is just temporary, I'm gonna use this tape, electrical tape, to just loosely hold it together so that the June plum doesn't fall over. So I'm gonna just loosely tie this on. In a couple weeks I'll remove it. This is not gonna damage my June plum tree in any way. The soil is moist. I'm pressing this down. Then I'm gonna remove all this excess tape from the base. This is the tape that was holding the earlier container onto it. All right. So there you have it. I have my June plum tree. So I will give you updates a few weeks from now, and of course you'll see it as I plant it in my new garden in Palm Bay. You can already see some new leaves right here. These are actually new leaves that are coming out right there. So before you know it, this is gonna have new leaves. I wouldn't be surprised if by next year this time I'm gonna have June plums, because these trees, these two trees were maybe about 5 feet tall when my sister planted them last year, and you can see how big they are now. So I'm super excited to have my June plum tree, and I'm super excited to have my cassava plant, because what I'll do is, when I transplant this, I'll move the cassava to its own bed. This cassava stick can actually be broken into two, so I can have 2 different cassava trees just from this one stick. So there you have it, my new June plum tree. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, let's go out there and plant, grow, and eat together. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to share what you're growing. Don't forget to share your produce with your friends. Till next time, bye now.